Welcome back everyone to our channel. My name is Dmitry. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about gutter covers. Gutter covers probably one of those products there's just too much on the market. It's too many types. In this video, I decided I'm not going to talk about any brands, whether it's good or bad. I simply went to big box stores around me, Menards, Lowe's, and Home Depot, and I picked different types. I believe we have 7 or 8 different products here. If you see 3 of them, it means all 3 stores were selling them. So in this video, I'm just going to describe them by price, by performance, and by expectations. As a homeowner, what expectations can you have? Do it yourself, or if you hire a contractor to do them for you. So let's get it started. So I kind of listed them from best to worst here. And again, I'm not going to be talking about brands. I'm going to just talk about concept and what we've seen as a contractor for years, because I've seen almost all of them fail at some point. And it's a news flash for all manufacturers out there who's trying to convince homeowners that their product works. Majority, I would say 95% of gutter covers will fail. You're not going to believe it, but nobody yet invented gutter cover that works 100% under all conditions. Even if you pay, $10,000, $30, $40 per linear foot, patented, trusted company, they still not going to back it up completely. I mean, they can back up their warranties, but all gutter covers will fail sooner or later. It's just a reality. So the best we found between those 3 stores, Lowe's, Home Depot, and Menards, it's actually a Micromesh concept. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I mean, this is all right. I do like this lip on the back. If you install it, you actually can screw it, but the best Micromesh on the market I've seen will have this lip much bigger, so you can actually screw it to the fascia. So what it does, it will allow you to install it and make your gutter actually stronger. So the best gutter cover system is where you can install it at the front and where you can screw it to the back. This one here will do the job. I do like the design. I do like how much metal it has on the back, so it kind of makes it nice and solid for the shingle part, so it kind of rests there. But again, ideal for me in this situation would be the product where I can actually screw in the back. And I'm a little bit confused with this one because it does has a lip, but I don't know if it's safe for me to run a screw to it. And if I do, because it's angle, I don't believe it's designed for it. So the problem with this is when it's only at the front, you limit the strength of the gutter system. So if you have weight or limb or something, it can pull away from the fascia. If you would reinforce it on the back, it would make it one solid piece with the gutter itself, and then it will last much longer and will be more durable. Everything kind of bucks it in. But so far, what we've seen in 3 stores, this is probably going to be my choice. It will cost you more money, but it will last many, many years to come. Now, next one, this one is interesting because it has this little ribs. Again, the same thing. You kind of drop it in underneath your shingle, and pretty much it's supposed to stop the water. I do like that it's made out of metal, unlike cheaper option we're gonna come next. Plastic ones, those are gonna have a lot of problems. Again, sooner or later, you're gonna have a lot of mass here. Between what we've seen, this is one of the best. The grid is kind of big enough, so granules from the shingles will go through and will clog your gutter inside. When that happens, sooner or later, especially if you have, hail or wind, or, let's say in 10 years, you're going to lose a lot of granules. All of those granules are going to be inside your gutter, and you're talking about ½ an inch of stuff. So the water will be staying there. So unlike Micromesh, it's not going to filter those small debris. Also, needles, pine needles, and helicopters, those will also clog and stuff here. Because of the design, water eventually will go in, but it kind of like will stop it, and we've seen it on the job sites many times. Again, good design, better than other options, not the best, but good return on investment because it's not too expensive. You definitely can do it yourself. For what I've seen, it's all right. Now, this one here is one of a kind. I believe Menards sells them. Other distributors, not big box stores, but stores where contractors buy from, they sell a lot of this type of gutter system with the holes. Again, it's all the right design. What I like about this one, what I was talking earlier about, you can actually reinforce it all the way to your fascia. So once you do that, it's going to become one solid piece. Holes are a little bit bigger than I want them to be, so it's not micromesh. So your granules and stuff will fall right through. Also pine needles and stuff like that can go in and stuck here. But overall, it will make your gutter pretty strong. It'll keep away all the big stuff out. Overall, if I would rate it from 1 to 10, I would give this 6, 7. It's not the best, it has its flaws, but it will do the job for you for years to come. But sooner or later, you will start having major issues because, you know, stuff will be piling up here. Another thing too, every once in a while, you might be in need to go and actually clean it manually. What I don't like about it is this little lip, and because right before gutter ends, it stops and it dips back. So what's going to happen if you have leaves, unlike other systems, for example, if I would compare to the first one, to my number one choice today, if you compare it to, you can see debris from this one will fly down. In here, they're going to stuck. I don't know why would they design it like this, but it's fact that stuff will simply lay here for a long time, and you don't want anything in your gutters because that's where a lot of moisture going to be inside out. Water comes here. You want everything to be pushed off, and with this design, this is the biggest flaw I have. Another option here, it's a bigger mesh. I believe this comes from Home Depot. Let me see if doesn't really matter. They all very similar. So the same concept, one piece. So this one here, the back goes under the shingle, the front lips here. Looks good, a little bit flimsy. I mean, you can see even here, I can do this, I can push it in. What I don't like about it, it's not long enough. So a lot of gutter guys, they only install those brackets every 24 inches. So if you have 3-foot piece, not 4, not 5, like right now, I can't even rest it over 2 brackets. So what's going to happen is if anything heavy pulls, it falls inside, and then if you have leaves or debris, it will pretty much come inside. So it's not holding really well, even in a room like this where we're controlling everything. But you can imagine, I mean, it doesn't take much force to press it in. It just pops right in. So again, not very impressed. Unfortunately, every store has them. My recommendation is don't mess with them if you're gonna spend money. I mean, something like this versus, this is where I break the line. Like this two, I would recommend. The rest of them, I don't recommend. This is right there on the edge. It's product itself seems like it's gonna work. It's small enough to keep majority of the leaves out. Smaller stuff like pine needles and things like that still gonna stuck in it, which is not good. And it's flimsy. While it's metal, it's still dents pretty easy. The lip is not impressive. Yes, you can add a screw and things like that, but it's just a lot of work, and I personally wouldn't recommend it. So with this one, you get what you pay for. It's where I draw the line. It's all right. I wouldn't install it in my house, but I guess if you want to take a chance, that's fine. Now, everything on this table is absolute garbage. I cannot tell you how many hundreds of houses I've seen, if not thousands, failed. I'm gonna start probably with the worst on this one. Lowe's and Home Depot sells them because Lowe's and Home Depot has such a big presence in the United States. I would say stay away from this one. I literally have seen this product in the gutter where gutter is overflowing. I actually make jokes about it. You literally buying crap to clog your gutter immediately. So what's happening is, this is literally, even in the beginning, it will look like something decent, but what I've done, I just clogged my gutter. So what's gonna happen, anything that's gonna come on top of it, literally gonna live in this foam. So what's happening is, seeds, debris, sand, all the small stuff, leaves, they're gonna stuck in here. The sponge, because this is sponge, it's literally sponge, will collect the moisture. Yes, it's designed to be a filter, but when you put a filter inside gutter, all it does clogs that gutter and collects more moisture and more debris on top of it. So I call it, I mean, I don't know how you can even advertise it, clog your gutter to clog gutter more in the future, because that's exactly what's going to happen. I've seen this gutter cover system in the rain where water comes in and literally spills over because it fills up pretty fast. Supposed to work, but it simply doesn't. Even if it's gonna work, it's not gonna last you more than 2 years before you'll have to take it all out and pretty much remove it. Also, throw it away. Because it's black and it's sponge, after about 2-3 years, this will create a big smile here. So what's gonna happen, it's gonna dry up, it's gonna change its shape, so it's gonna be very dry sponge at the top with a lot of nasty debris in it, because it's never gonna fly away and it's gonna catch that. So this is the nastiest product in a gutter market I've ever seen. And I'm not talking about even in the store. I mean, I don't like how it looks on the shelf, but I'm talking about cleaning it as a mess. Installing it is all right, but it'll never work. I guarantee you, I promise you that. I've seen hundreds of jobs failed. And save your money, save your time. If you spend a penny, just go the very next option you have. Even if you don't have money, spend a little bit more, but please don't buy this crap because it's not gonna last. Again, Lowe's and Home Depot, this one actually seems to me like a little bit redesigned. You can see how less foamy it is, like much more air inside. Again, I hate it. I didn't care what kind of foam it is. It's bad idea. Now, next option one, like this one is as bad. You probably have seen big brands with this concept, supposed to be, and I'm just explaining, I'm not gonna use any language, any fancy words. I'm just gonna tell you how manufacturer designed it. So design works if it's metal, if it's designed right. So you'll see a lot of products on the market like Leaf Guard, and it works. The water was supposed to go around and kind of turn around and go inside. The problem with the plastic never installs the same way. Like actually, when we were installing this gutter yesterday, I asked my guys to be reasonable. And the problem with the gutters is they never straight. You're supposed to have a pitch, they always bow, and roof lines also rarely straight. So you have a lot of variables. So when you add a piece of plastic, this is the worst of the worst idea. So the concept is great, the principle works, the water should be going inside, not outside. But with the plastic ones, unfortunately, water comes right off. So you're gonna install it. For one, you're not gonna keep, like, you're pretty much gonna kill your gutter system. Your gutter is no longer gonna be catching water. Water gonna be running above your gutter guard and gonna pretty much pouring down. So that's the first thing gonna happen. Another one, the gutter, because the gutter cover, because it's plastic, it's also not reliable. It's not gonna last long. It's very easy to damage. I mean, you can see here, kind of, I mean, I cannot even make it work right now. So it's just not gonna last. This is the worst idea you can have for your gutters. I get it. Let me see. If in a perfect world, it might work, but in reality, it's gonna work only the day you install, and then before you know it, it's gonna fail on you. I hate it. Again, this is the concept, supposed to be working, but you can see how flimsy it is. If you put any pressure, it's never straight. If any part of this gutter system, gutter cover, goes lower, you pretty much just ruin entire system. Now, if I do this, water actually can back up. It's not gonna do what it's supposed to, and it can't. Just this principle only works when it works. That's why if you are a believer in a system like this, you have to go with something like Leaf Guard. And I'm not promoting them. I'm not a big fan of Leaf Guard. They have a lot of problems, but if you want to ask my opinion, I would rather go with Leaf Guard and pay 10 times price than I would go with something like this. Because Leaf Guard, at least it's one piece, it will do the job. This one here, it's pretty much misleading you because you probably read or seen the concept and you think it's gonna work and this is just cheaper solution, but unfortunately this cheaper solution, it's not gonna work. And so garbage, also garbage, and a few more garbages here. So this one here you see in a lot of stores. What I don't like about it is holes are way too big. The grit actually is pretty aggressive, so what's gonna happen is it's gonna catch even big leaves, so leaves will be stuck in here. So, you know, I'm not even talking about needles, I'm talking about like bigger stuff, like really big stuff, because the holes are way too big to be gutter cover. Again, you don't have much here, you don't have a string. While it's metal product, it's so flimsy, it's so easy to damage. You see it all the time. It's so easy to dent, and once branch or something falls down and it does this, the leaves not going to be pushed away. I mean, it will only keep away like really big stuff, but majority of the small stuff still going to end up in the gutter. It will break before you know it. I see a lot of it does this, and then chunks of bigger stuff actually clog there. So another waste of money and time to do it yourself. Would not put my name on it and would not recommend it to anybody. And these three little pieces here, pretty much the same concept. Majority of the plastic gutter covers, they end up, I would say, in the landfill or in the garbage in general within 3-4 years. They just don't last. So if you like to clean your gutters every couple years, it's your choice. Again, I don't care what product you use. Plastic, just simply bad idea for gutter covers. Why? Because it's flimsy, because it never lasts, because winds, rains, leaves, branches, everything that hits it is going to destroy it. And it's very hard to picture when you stand, let's say in Home Depot, and you're looking at the shelf and you're like, oh yeah, you know, you can imagine probably leaf coming in and you're probably thinking, nah, I see how this would work. But what you don't see is how many small debris actually ended up in your gutter system. So for sure, stuff like this will never do the job. It's pretty much band-aid. It's just bad idea. It's never gonna work on a long term. So if you do have something like this, or if you're considering anything on this table, including this guy, my recommendation would be this guy right here. Might as well buy a little strainer to put in your downspout. And the way this works, just like it shows in the picture, you put it in, because when these products will fail you, at least big leaves will not clog your downspout, and water, at least some part of your water, will keep draining away from your house, not damaging your foundations, walls, and stuff like that. So if you're an installer or maybe a contractor, please let me know what you think. Let me know if you've installed this, which one you think is the worst, which one is the best. I want to hear from you. If you're a homeowner and you have some nightmare stories, maybe you've paid somebody premium dollars. I know companies like Leaf Filter is one of them. They are pretty aggressive on their product. Their product looks like this. It's Micromesh. I'm not a big fan of them. The problem with the companies like Leaf Filter, they charge too much. You're talking about $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for the product that should be honestly like 1/4 of that amount. So if you've experienced something negative about big companies, maybe their customer service, maybe sales pitch. I know like Leaf Filter, for example, they start very high. They start, you know, at $30-something per foot, and their bottom line is 12. That's sales pitch. They're gonna come to your house and they're gonna say, well, I'll do the job for $8,000, and then at the end they do $3,000. It reminds me how we used to buy cars. Nobody ever bought a car what dealer told them at the first question. Hey, how much is the car? 10,000. Well, can you do 8? Let's do 9, right? It doesn't have to be that way. You should know the cost. And the problem with this is, if you can buy something like this in a store for $3, why would you pay somebody like Live Filter 30? It doesn't take $27 to install it, and Live Filter and companies like that don't pay that much. Again, I don't want to be controversial. I want to hear from you how much you have paid for your gutter system. Does it work? If it didn't work, did the company who installed it, did they back up their warranty? I want to hear from you. Comment below. Let me know if you like our channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for coming.